I can guarantee you nobody else has it. Kim here, homeschooling mom to 4 and chaos coordinator since 2009. We have a very large library in our house. I try to be minimalist in other areas, always purging, but books, I just keep adding shelves somewhere in the house. This video is books that span a wide range of ages. I find that my 2-year-old, it's a big fat cat that keeps coming in our yard. These books are ones that span a wide range of ages. I would say 2 to possibly teenager. So these are ones that tickle the brain, and if the teenager wouldn't sit and listen to you read it to them, it'd be very much one that they'd be willing to read to a younger one. They tweak the brain a little bit, and they really do engage a wide range of ages, and these are our family favorites. First one, it's a board book, but it breaks the fourth wall, and we love it. It's the monster at the end of this book. The kids roar with laughter. And it's so fun for the older ones to pretend that the book is actually difficult to turn. So Grover here doesn't want you to get to the end of the book because there's a monster, but little does he know, he's the monster at the end of this book, and he does everything he can to keep the pages down. It's fun even as an adult to read because it breaks the fourth wall. The fourth wall being that the book talks to you and tells you what to try to tell you what to do. Along the same lines, I know the book with no pictures, that's a fun one too, but that's not as engaging for real little ones. This one is engaging. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name, but it's called Press Here. And it's essentially a book if it were a computer and things that happen when you push different things. Press here and turn the page. Great, push it again. Now there's 3. Speaking of all ages, this one cracks everybody up. And it's fun for the little ones. It's a board book. It's called Toot. We love Leslie. She's hilarious. It's about farts. This is a collection toy that's way too sensitive to people moving. This is a series. There are a slew of these books. You can get them all over Amazon, thrift books, different places. What makes them span so many ages is, first of all, these noises. These are buttons. What kid doesn't like buttons? But they're not too annoying. Okay, that one's annoying. But it's literal sounds of the birds. It's not like a made-up sound. Not a made-up sound. It's the actual sounds that the animals make, and they have everything. They have nighttime owls, they have water animals. We have a whole bunch of these. I go outside and I say, what's that bird? What bird is that? And the girls can tell me what bird it is by its sound. Then the information in it is very detailed as well. So for little kids, you can just say the name of it, red-winged blackbird. But over here, that shows you what the eggs look like. It tells you where they are found, what they eat, how many eggs to a nest. Really a fascinating set of books. All my kids love these. Another type of series of books that spans the ages is the Sinister Story. You can look at C-I-N-E and then Story, Sinister Story collection. And basically they're really thick. So the little kids think it's fun because they think they're reading a big book, but it is literally the entire movie, frame by frame, and every single line from the movie. And not every page has a bunch of words, and they have a wide variety of these. So the Sinister Story collection is good for a very wide range of ages. Another particularly awesome author is Graeme. So these were my husband's when he was little, and they're in great condition. This one's the 11th Hour, and the other one is Animalia. And they are kind of a mixture of Where's Waldo, I Spy, and Clue in a book. There's mystery, there's riddles, there's pictures you have to hunt for, and they're beautifully illustrated. So even the little ones really like it because they're silly too. So anything by Graeme, especially these two are the most popular in our house. I would highly recommend having in your collection. And again, all ages and stages, even adults get into these. Anything illustrated by Kellogg, but this book in particular, the content really goes for the older kids too. It really helps you visualize a million. They read this a lot in grade school for the younger grades, but it's good for even adults to really picture how much is a million. So the concept is for older kids, the pictures and illustrations are for younger. Alphabet books. Now you might be thinking those could never be for 13-year-olds. Oh no, there's older kids. P is for pterodactyl. This is a really good one. The alphabet from A to Y with the bonus letter Z by Steve Martin. It's hilarious. So it has funny pictures for comics, and then just basic letter recognition for the younger kids, and then lots of alliteration. So Pedro the puppy piled poop on his paws, and Papa Dog published his photo because. One caveat, the O in this book is Ouija. So just a heads up on that. The next collection is all from Usborne. I love me some Usborne. So this one you might think, it wouldn't be good. It's about colors. No, it's a big book of colors. It's pretty awesome. This is really good for husbands too, who can't tell different colors. It goes into the science of things a little bit, warm and cool colors, and it has a color wheel. And then as you go through, it'll tell you things like, oh, this is apple, this is jade, this is sage. This page is really cool. It's changing colors. So if you look over here, the grapes are blue. And this has a red, has some things on it. The red, you turn it, and now they're purple. And finally, it goes kind of into the science of meanings of different colors. So that's always fun. That's fun for the older ones too. This one is fun to read with the kids, and it gets them to do silly things. So even though the older kids may not participate, it's going to be hard for them to keep a straight face when they're hearing you read it. This is another Usborne book. It's the story path, and so every time you read it, it's a different story. You can make it up as you go along. So it says, once upon a time there lived a, and you pick what lived and what happens to them as they go along. Along that same line, you have just imagine and you choose. This one's a really good conversation starters, especially for older kids. This is why it spans a wide range of ages. For example, would you like to travel through time? And it gives you all different time periods. Can you imagine being big or really small, and all the good and the bad that might happen based on being really big or really small? Or you choose, has different questions. When you get hungry, what would you eat? It tells a story and you get to pick. So lots of options, lots of conversation. The Usborne Beginner's History. It is for young kids, but it's also for old kids. Even I enjoy reading them. I've learned so much. So for example, castles. The pictures are simple. The information is simple. The information is fascinating. It talks about where servants slept and how people took baths and things like that. This is the Mayans, it has ancient Greeks, the Vikings, Egyptians, Romans, Stone Age. There's a lot in here. Finally, this one's my favorite, and I can guarantee you nobody else has it out there that's watching this. John Branyan did a comedy routine of how dumb we are nowadays with our small vocabulary that we use in day to day. And he said Shakespeare's time, they had such a bigger vocabulary than we do. So instead of the three little pigs, it's a triune tale of diminutive swine. So he tells the story of the three little pigs using such different language, most of it that we've never heard of, but you understand it because you know the story of the three little pigs. So he does it on YouTube. I'll put a link down below of his comedy routine. Then he is telling the story and acting it out. And so I liked it so much that I ended up buying his children's book that he wrote for it. My favorite adaptation of the Three Little Pigs. So instead of let me in, he says, pray thee, little pig, grant me entrance. Nay, it shall not be, not by wit or whiskered jowl. Those are the books that span a wide range of ages, and again, if we had to really pare down our library, these would be staying. When older kids come over and they don't think there's anything to do, these are the books I pull out, and they just can't help themselves but be engaged. So remember, it is okay to make mistakes. The important part is to learn from them. God bless.